why don't you just make your own Samsung S95H? That's a conversation that has entered into my head personally for a good amount of time, especially having done that exact same thing, more or less. There are some new specifications panel-wise you can't get around, like extra brightness, but hypothetically speaking, it is possible to give yourself a good amount of what they're advertising now. So what I would recommend you do is buy yourself a 5-in-1 HDMI 2.1 switch. Now, if you've never heard what this is going to give you essentially the 8 HDMI 2.1 ports that they are advertising this year. Smack like on this video for just diving to the point, divulging the answer within the first, minute of the video. It's not hard, right? So let's continue forward by talking about what this means, what this does, so on and so forth. So essentially, if you have a 5-in-1 HDMI 2.1 switch, it allows you, in essence, to be able to replace one of the HDMI ports that you're losing. Why do I say that? Well, if you have 4 HDMI ports on, let's say, your Samsung S90D or whatever it is, whatever TV. This works for any TV with 4 HDMI ports, by the way. You just plug it into one port. Well, now you're down a port. Now you only have 3 left. Enter the 5-in-1, because that fifth one is going to give you the one you just lost plugging this device in back. So now you have all 4 HDMI ports that you have on your regular device, and you get all 4 on the other one. I mean, it's a brilliant way of extending out your device. And I think a lot of people don't know that this exists, so I wanted to make a video about it because, listen, I don't know about you, but I got a lot of HDMI devices. I've got a region-free Blu-ray player. I've got a regular 4K player. I've got a Nintendo Switch. I've got an Xbox Series X, a PS5, two PCs. I mean, how is it all going to fit on 4 HDMI ports? It's not. And if you're tired of doing the ring around the rosy game, where you're like, okay, well, now I want to play with my PC, let me unplug this, and then you're constantly unplugging, and every time you unplug it, then you have to readjust the settings profiles to make sure it matches. Don't do that. Just get a HDMI 2.1 switch, 5-in-1, literally 5 in, and that's going to be all you need to do. It's going to change the game for you, especially if you have a Samsung S95D or S95F. Why I say this is because now you really will get closer to getting all of the benefit that the new TV offers, because you're going to have 8 HDMI 2.1 ports. You've got the matte finish coating. You've got a really bright TV anyway. So, I mean, it's a win, 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 win. And if you're like me and you're on something like PC, or if you're on some of the Sony Blu-ray players, you can go in and force BT 2020 on the 10-bit panel. Finally, by the way, I'm at a point where I can say that on video, and now magically the industry won't come for my head saying not to do that, because now they're pushing 10-bit on 10-bit panels, or 12-bit on 10-bit panels. The 2020 color, BT 2020, yeah. It's crazy, but that's kind of where we are, where they're playing catch up to where I've always been. And I'm going to say it like this. If you really want to see the pinnacle of gaming, movies, or anything, you are going to force your TV into BT 2020. Learn how to adjust that profile, even in SDR, okay? Because the same concept as to why 10-bit works or 12-bit works on a 10-bit panel in the first place, and how they're able to push that wider color into a smaller color space, is exactly the same way you're going to do it on SDR. In case no one threw that out there for you, it's the same concept. So that means that all your SDR could be magical. Mine has been for a multitude of years, and most of you guys that watch me that follow my advice, you guys know because you've seen it. But what I can tell you is this. If you do it this way, effectively, let's say you'll have a Samsung S95D, or S95F, or S90D, or whatever TV you choose with 8 HDMI 2.1 ports, right? That already is huge. Usually you have to give up one to eARC. These are all HDMI 2.1. Now, on top of that, you have the benefit of your panel, whatever it may be. And every single QD OLED, by the way, covers at least 90% of the BT 2020 color space. So even though you're missing 10% compared to maybe RGB mini LED, I mean, I take the 10% loss so that I have something to totally self-emissive, great contrast, you know what I mean? And all the things that made you fall in love with your QD OLED. I don't know why you wouldn't take a 10% hit and see a magical experience on a 10-bit panel like a QD OLED. That's what I would recommend. This is my top recommendation, guys. If you want to talk putting you on a sauce and game that I do every single day on my main bread and butter TV, this is it. And for my secondary TV, I have a 4-in-1. So even though I'm not giving myself that extra HDMI 2.1 port back, I still have more plugins. So I've been using these HDMI 2.1 switches that come with multitudes of HDMI 2.1 ports for years. For a multitude of years. But now that it's becoming more of a conversation of, now you, oh, buy this because it's wireless. By the way, I'll just throw this out there. Any wireless connection and transmitting is subject to failure. Just throwing that out there, because how many of us have experienced handshaking issues with our wireless subwoofers on even just a sound bar, where sometimes the subwoofer doesn't kick on? It's not all the time, but it can happen, and it is annoying when it does. And imagine your whole TV experience is predicated on that concept. No, thank you. That's what the S95H is offering, and I'm not interested in the wireless thing. They really need to let it go trying to be all futuristic, especially once you consider if you put it inside of a media console, maybe one that's made out of metal or one that isn't really just getting a signal out strong enough, you could run into some issues, potentially depending on how far it is in your room, yada yada. Again, they try to sell a lot of future tech, and I'm sure it will work just fine most of the time, but I don't want any dropouts of any kind. And also, digital transmitting of signals, not that deal. But hypothetically speaking, because your boy Quantum is in the know, and you wanted, maybe let's just say you wanted even a singular device that you use all the time to literally be wireless with transmission, so you don't have to see that device. There is literally a wireless HDMI transmitter where you plug the dongle in the back of your television and your wireless device is somewhere else. So if that really interests you, you could go buy solutions like that too on any TVs. You don't just have to buy Samsung's latest and greatest to pull that off, in case you didn't know. But that being said, though, I want to know what you guys think about this video in the comments down below, and this concept of just kind of DIY, right? If they're selling you on a specification, if the product exists standalone out there, the physical hardware, why wouldn't you just buy the hardware and do that versus paying more money for the upgraded model? I don't know. But that's what I'm asking you guys for, because again, your opinions are very important to me in the comments down below, so I want to hear from you. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.